copy is king. Doesn't matter what you're selling. If you want to make money, you need to turn strangers into customers. The way you do that is through the words and stuff that you use on the internet, also known as sales copy. But here's the problem. Everybody's funnel hacking each other, so it all sounds exactly the same, and it's impossible to stand out, and you just end up looking like another knucklehead. That's why this new AI is so important, because it can go and find totally unique marketing angles for you that nobody else is using and write badass copy for you without you even having to type. This is crazy. I'll show you how it works right now. Let's go. All right, so what you're seeing right now is a tool called ojoy.ai, and this is the almost end result here. And what this is an outline of a long-form direct response sales letter that sells ojoy.ai based on what it learned by watching this video. And this is a video about conversational hypnosis. So it learned about conversational hypnosis, and then it took what it learned, came up with some unique marketing angles, and now it's outlined the sales letter for us. And it's even using like hypnotic stuff, like a pattern interrupt over here, and then another pattern breaking story, and then mentioning the unconscious mind. It's absolutely amazing because it's taken this entirely new angle and just written us a whole new outline for a completely different approach to selling this stuff. So what we're gonna do in this video is I'm gonna show you exactly how I did this, going from the beginning all the way to the end, and then we'll write this sucker, because I'm telling you, the playing field is level now, baby. Like, you're never ever going to have a sales copy problem again if you know how to use AI properly. So let's go. But before we get started, look, pay attention to this. See here? Notice one of the first things we're going to do as you watch over my shoulder is we're going to be like, hey, let's make sure we're not plagiarizing this dude and that we're being cool. Okay, cool. So see all this stuff right here? You can have this, all right? I'm going to give you this Google Doc if you want it. If you decide to try ojoy.ai, it's free, so why wouldn't you? Free to try, you know? But you can have all of this stuff and a whole lot more, so don't worry about trying to like memorize all these prompts. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come over here to my man's video, and we're going to get the transcripts to it. Okay, I just randomly searched hypnosis techniques and chose this video, and I chose the hypnosis techniques like idea randomly. I was like, I don't know, let's see what happens. It seems like it'll be cool. Okay, so we did that, and now we're over here in Ojoy. Ojoy's got two tools. One's called Project Shepherd, and the other one's called Rewrite. Project Shepherd's for doing like deeper work, so we're going to use this one because it has like really badass capabilities. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open a bracket. I'm going to paste these transcripts here, and then this is what I'm going to do. So I'll copy this, and I have to edit it a little bit, I think. I'm going to give you transcripts to YouTube video. Oh, no, I said YouTube video here. Okay, great. I want you to learn or read all of them, find all the stuff you find valuable, make an outline of what it teaches for me. I'll put it in brackets below. So that's all we do. Boom. Okay, there we are, right? So I said you don't have to type, but we did copy and paste. That was exhausting. Okay, so Project Shepherd is meant to pull ideas out of you. So sometimes it'll ask you questions, but you don't have to play along. So in this case, I'm just going to say this. I just want you to literally find every usable, valuable thing that this video teaches about hypnosis in general, ranging from like hypnotic techniques and everything, and then just like make a list of them for me. So give me everything, all right, and just make an outline of what it's teaching. Cool. All right, so what we're doing here is just clarifying this. So sometimes it'll ask you for some clarificationalism, and notice that I didn't have to type anything. That's what's so amazing about this, because I don't know about you, but when I go into like starting to type a prompt or something, it takes the brain out of creative mode and it puts it into like analytical, am I typing this prompt right mode? It makes me lose my flow. Anyway, okay, so I'm not even gonna read this. Seems cool to me. So now we'll come to the next part, and now we are gonna have to type because I have to change this, all right? So I'm going to copy this right here. I'm going to paste this over here. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm telling it to like, okay, can you think of any content ideas? Specifically, I'm looking for situations where I can teach some of these concepts in my content and then relate those contents to, and see where it says your stuff in all caps. This is where you would put, like, golf, if you were like had stuff about golf. In my example, I already have AI copywriting written in there, so I'll just delete those. Technically, we still haven't typed. Off we go. And now it's going to go through and read all of that stuff and see if it can come up with any cool ideas, And so there we go. It's giving us all of this stuff. Now, what's cool about this is we can turn this into social media posts. We can turn this into emails. We can turn this into lead magnets, all about how to use AI to write hypnotically based on some of the stuff that was shared in this video. But before we do it, we want to make sure we're being cool. So I'm going to come over here again, and I'm going to paste this little prompt in here, which is, hey man, are we cool to use this? I don't want to be stealing my man's stuff, because that's not cool. So is there a way to ethically use these concepts without plagiarizing the original creator? And it's like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of universal concepts and stuff. So now that we have all of this stuff, and if we wanted to, I've even given you the prompts for this, we could turn this into social media posts, but we don't want to do any social media posts right now. We want to sell some stuff. So check this out, all right? First thing we're going to do you know how to write long-form direct response sales letters? I don't want you to write anything for me yet. Just give me an outline of how you would write a long-form direct response sales letter. It doesn't need to be about anything in particular. I don't need you to actually write it for me. Just outline the structure that you would use. Thanks. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm getting it ready. Hopefully this will go ahead and do it. Sometimes it asks you questions, Oh, no, cool. It's doing it. All right. Awesome. So it's telling me, yeah, man, I know how to write sales letters. I was programmed by you and a developer who's a lot smarter than you. But still, we want to get in that mode, So here we go. This is a solid, classic sales letter formula right here. So feel good about this. We could, of course, tell it to use a different framework if you have one in mind, but we'll use this one. And now check this out, okay? Watch this. Okay. I sell an AI writing tool, and the AI writing tool is very, very unique because you don't have to type. You can just talk to it, and it will write sales copy for you. It'll write social media posts for you. It will write lead magnets for you. It'll write landing page copy for you. Anything written that you need, it can write it for you. And furthermore, it's very unique because you can give it transcripts of your own materials, for example, and it can turn that into written content. It can find all the interesting angles about what you're presenting and write sales letters for you based on the material that you give it. It's really, really different from anything else. So with all of this in mind, how would you write a long-form sales letter for my AI writing software and do so using some of the techniques that you have learned in these transcripts about hypnosis? So to be clear, we're not trying to sell hypnosis stuff. We're just trying to apply some of what you have learned about hypnosis and about those language patterns to the sales letter that you would write for this AI software. So with all of this in mind, there's no need to write the entire thing. Just kind of write me an outline with some ideas of what you might say. Now, dude, if we had to type that as a prompt, that'd be the worst thing ever, because we would immediately stop focusing on the sales letter and how cool we want it to be and am I doing this right? So I can't stress enough, when you use ojoy.ai, please just talk to it instead of trying to type. So here we are, okay? It is outlining this stuff for us. And this is totally cool. It's found the unique mechanism, the voice to AI, because you can just talk to it, which is awesome. But before we have it write anything, I want to make sure that it sounds cool when it writes. So I've got this little trick here where we can just tell it how to write by just giving it samples of writing. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Still doesn't count as typing, by the way. But I'm just going to give it some samples of my writing right here. All right, I'm just going to paste that in there. And it's essentially saying, hey, here's some samples of my writing. Learn how I write. All right, so I'll give it that. it'll always kind of confirm that it understands how you write and stuff. And let's now take a look at the outline and see if there's anything that we might like to change before it starts writing. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of opening with like problems too much. I like to talk about how cool things are. So I'm going to give it some instructions here, which is this. Okay, cool. I want you to outline it again for me. There's just a little bit about the beginning that I'd like to change. Like, I love the idea that, like, hey, you can just talk and you don't have to type and you'll get really good copy. So that is awesome. I normally would never say anything like, have you ever imagined just speaking your ideas or anything. I do like the use of the language pattern. I just want to make sure we're changing the way it's written because I just don't talk like that. And then I don't say things like picture yourself. So if I were to be writing like that, I might say something like, wouldn't it be cool if blah, blah, blah. Instead of have you ever imagined, things like that. Or have you ever wondered how some people seem to blah, blah, blah. That's more about how I would talk. With the five senses thing, I don't want to like really overdo that. You know, we really just want to tell them that this is a very excellent tool and explain why. So I don't think we need to overdo the five senses type of stuff there. So yeah, with all that in mind, please just rewrite the outline only, okay? And this is where, no matter what AI you're using, it's always good to know a little bit about marketing. You know what I mean? Like the people that are going to tell you, like, you could be a complete freaking moron and AI is going to write unbelievable stuff for you. No, it's going to write stuff that was created by a complete freaking moron. Like, you do need to know like a little bit of fundamental intelligence. Okay, cool. So it's revised an outline for me. We want to. So I'm going to ask it. I'm going to say, okay, cool. Go ahead and just write the first section, that headline and hook section. So let's have a look at what it said here. Notice there's no headline yet. This is on purpose. All right. So this is okay. But, you know, since we're already doing it, I will go ahead and change the tone a little bit just to show you how it's done. Okay, this is pretty solid. Do me a favor. I just want to drop the reading level down to like a 6th grade reading level and make it super easy to understand. Like, still talk like me. I don't have that, you know, articulate of a vocal talking style anyway. So make it simpler, and don't mention my IKEA desk. And in fact, like, I don't want to tell any stories about me in here. This is really about them and what they can expect to experience. Okay, so the reason it's mentioning that IKEA desk is because my writing sample had some stuff about an IKEA desk in there. So sometimes it'll read your sample and like kind of throw in some of the stuff you put in there. So you just gotta watch it. Gotta watch it. All right, now check it out. All right, so I like this. You know how writing stuff for your business is a total pain? Might reword that a little bit, but this is totally relatable. You just sit there staring at your screen. What if you just talk instead of type? This is great. So love it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to save you some time here. I'm going to have it write everything and paste it into a Google Doc, and then we're going to take that and make it even cooler. And the way you copy and paste this stuff, by the way, is you just hit the clipboard over here and then paste it. If you like copy paste directly from the page, it'll have like this weird background and everything. Okay, cool. So it's written the letter, but we haven't actually closed the sale yet because I haven't told it how much we're selling it for and what to do. So I'm just going to tell it, yes, now it's time to close the sale, and this is actually a free trial. So the whole purpose of this letter is just to get them to try the software for free. They can use it for a week. It doesn't cost anything for them to use it for a week. And if they like it, then they can keep it, and it's awesome. And if they don't like it, they can just click a link inside their account and cancel, and they don't even have to talk to anybody. So let's go ahead and write that section. And yeah, I guess that's kind of all you need to do. Now it wrote the close for us. All right, so I'll paste that down here. And now, check this out. All right, I'm going to get rid of that word. Here's the deal. Check this out. This is awesome. So now I'm going to take this copy, just copy the whole thing. Going to come back over here. I'm going to say this. I'm about to paste the entire sales letter that you wrote below, and I'm going to put it in brackets. And I want you to read through the entire thing. And I want you to see if you can use any of the cool hypnotic language patterns in this sales letter, but still maintain my writing style. So specifically, some of the language patterns that I noticed you mentioned earlier were things like, what if this would happen, and wouldn't it be cool if this, and have you ever noticed how some people are able to do this, and things like that, like where you're really like making them picture it without saying picture this or whatever. So if you can find places to use those types of phrases, they don't have to be exactly those phrases, that would be awesome. Like another example is like, have you ever noticed that some people can just make the best sales copy and it seems like they're not even trying? Wouldn't it be cool if those people wrote your stuff? Like that kind of stuff is mentioned in this hypnotic or hypnosis training. So maybe see if we can sprinkle some of that into the sales letter. That would be great. And you don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Just give me a couple of examples of where you would put it. Dude, and it did it. Okay. So like, remember I was like, writing stuff for your business is a total pain. I don't really like it. Now it's revised that. It's like, have you ever noticed how some people just seem to pump out amazing content all day long? Now, every time you use AI, I recommend you like manually edit the final version. So if I was doing that, I would say some people just crank out killer copy like it was the easiest thing in the world. Wouldn't it be cool if you had someone to do that for you? Not even say they could do it too, just get someone else to do it for them, because that's what this tool does. Let's see the next one. What if you could just talk instead of type? And then, you know, it's weird. Some people can just talk about their business and somehow it turns into perfect sales copy every time. That's pretty cool, but I kind of like the first one better. And let's see. Here's a new one. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a full-time writing team that just gets you, that knows exactly how to write everything you need? Let me show you something cool. I like that as well. Okay, great. So I'm not going to have it rewrite this letter with those. I just wanted to show you that you could do that. But what I am going to do is this, all right? Wait a minute. I didn't paste the original sales letter in there, did I? I totally didn't paste the original sales letter in there. That's hilarious, but it still remembered it. That's amazing. Okay, so check this out. Okay, I'm going to paste the entire sales letter below. I don't need you to make any of those changes, by the way. Those are awesome, but I just wanted to see what would happen. I'm going to paste the entire sales letter below for you. And what I want you to do is I want you to read every single word of it, find every imaginable cool benefit, and then I want you to give me 10 really hardcore direct response headline ideas. Like, imagine you're the greatest direct response sales copywriter in history. I want you to use every headline writing formula that you can think of. I want you to invoke curiosity. I want you to make it so that the reader just has to drop what they're doing and read this freaking letter. It needs to be that compelling. And if you need a subhead as well, then go ahead and throw that in there too. But we need 10 different ideas for me to choose from, and I want them to be absolutely outstanding. All right, so I'm going to paste the sales letter in brackets for you below, read the entire thing, and give me some headline ideas. I like being redundant when I repeat myself. Okay, so it'll translate my redneck into English here, and then I will paste the actual sales letter like I forgot to do the first time. Okay, so here we go. Okay, these are pretty cool. I'm not like that super crazy about any of them. They're good, but I think we can do better. So let's just tell it. Let's try a couple more angles. I'm not really sure what angles to try. Like maybe make some of them a little bit controversial. We definitely want to invoke curiosity. One thing I might try is something like, warning, don't even think of writing another word of copy until you read this. That type of thing always works. So with that in mind, give me a couple variations of that general idea and really kind of search through everything you know about direct response sales copy and give me 10 more ideas. And if we need them, subheads as well. Thanks. That's one of the things about AI. Like, it doesn't matter what you're using. Never just blindly accept what it gives you. Like, if you want it to write cooler stuff, make it write cooler stuff, you know? It's easy. In this case, you just tell it to. So I like number 2. All right, so it rewrote 10 more. I like number 2 because it's got the word weird in it. And it's like, don't write another word. And I like the subheads too. This is pretty sweet. I'm still not typing. I copied and pasted, I'm not typing. All right, I'm going to give you the one that I like below, and I just want you to make a change to it in the subhead. So we might not need a subhead, but if we do, it needs to be about high converting copy and maybe, high paying copywriters hate this or something like that. Okay, here's what I want you to use. I'll paste it below in brackets. What's great is because this is AI, it's not going to be like, dude, you're not making sense anymore. You need to get some lunch. I think I like number 5 best. Oh, and it agrees, actually. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to copy and paste. All right. Actually, I don't even need to do this. I agree with you. I think option number 5, the simple version with no subhead, is perfect. With that in mind, I'm going to paste the entire sales letter below again for you. And I want you to read through it and see if there's any need for us to adjust the beginning of the letter to flow better with the headline itself. All right, so let's just see, make sure we're able to tie the headline and the body copy, and specifically in the beginning of the letter, together. Okay, so stand by for the sales letter in brackets below. I don't know why I had to say stand by for that, but whatever. So I'm just going to copy, the original that it wrote for us here. I'm going to come back. All right, I'm going to hit a hold shift, enter twice, open up a little bracket. No idea if the brackets are necessary, by the way. Just who knows? I saw it on the internet one time. Has to be true. Okay, so it's going to reread this sucker, and now we're going to see if it needs to. All right. There we go. Okay, and this little trick right here really is kind of like one of those little tiny tweaks that can take something that's like pretty cool and turn it into something that's really freaking cool. All right, so it can continue with the rest of the letter as is. Now I'm just going to see, like, hey man, based on this new headline and the intensity of this new angle, are there any other changes you would suggest throughout the rest of the sales letter? Boom, shakalaka. All right, so we'll pop that in there. Dude, and it did, and I agree with it. All right, so it's changed but here's the thing, which incidentally I would have removed anyway because AI writes that all the time. It's like a giveaway AI pattern. I used to say it in my own copy, but now I stopped because AI says it so much. But here's why this is so important. It's cool. The world of copywriting is about to change. Everyone else is typing and shit, and you'll just talk and get better results. So like that getting ahead of everybody is cool. And then the warning section could be stronger. I need to warn you about something. I don't like this. So I just hate the word game changer. Like this whole pattern I don't like. AI, like every AI tool will write shit like this sometimes. I'm going to give you a little piece of what you just wrote below, and I just want you to turn it into copy that's just more straightforward and to the point. I never say things like, this isn't just another AI writing tool. This is a complete game changer. In fact, I don't use the word game changer at all. That's a very obvious AI pattern, and we don't want to do it. So let's just make that tighter and make it sound more like me. And make it better. Okay, so I'm just going to have it fix that real quick, just so you'll know how to do it, because it's not hard. And, if you can just talk and hit send, then you're going to be okay, you know what I mean? So there we are. Yeah, this is way cooler. Okay. So I could have it rewrite the entire letter if I wanted to, but you get it. Like, it would be boring for you to watch me do that. But now, like, dude, we literally just, I randomly chose this video about hypnosis, and we could even put in those hypnotic language patterns in there, by the way, if we wanted to. And we got a whole new sales letter for this thing. And I don't know how long I spent doing it, but it would have taken me a lot less time if I weren't explaining how to do it. So when you use this, it's not going to take you nearly as long as what I just took to do right now. But man, this, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what you're selling. It's always going to be, assuming you're selling something people actually want, it's always going to be the copy. Doesn't matter if it's a written sales letter, if it's a video script, if it's an email, does not freaking matter. It must be good. This makes it good. So would you rather have bad or would you rather have good? Try this and get some good. And you know what? Just to show you something cool, great. You know what I want you to do is I want you to write me a really short email that gets people to go and check this software out. Write it like you're writing as me, and my audience is typically, they're usually going to be between like 30 and 65 or 35 and 65 years old. Most of them are solopreneurs, so they're not like huge companies, and their biggest problem is often writing the copy. They can drive traffic, they have products, they have good ideas, they're smart people, but when it comes to writing the copy, it's just sort of a sticking point for them, and they second guess themselves, and they just don't like doing it. So now that you know that about them, we don't necessarily have to mention that, but write a quick email for me. It's not a million years. Just telling them to go check out the software and listing some of the benefits. Use my writing style. Keep it super simple and punchy. Since we're here, we might as well do it. And it did it. All right. Now, obviously, I wouldn't say, look what I just found, because it's my software. I would just say, you got to see this. You don't even have to type anything. So I would change like 2 words. But bam, there's our email. Easy. There's no more barrier. The playing field is level. You have the power now. Okay? Like you've got the same ability as the person that's going to be charging 50 grand. The only difference between them and you is they might ask different questions to the AI. But that's just experience, Or you could do something like this. Hey, read that entire sales letter that you wrote and tell me if I'm missing anything. Is there any other angle that I might need to be using, or is there anything else that I could add to it that can make it even better? I'm not looking to change it just for the sake of changing it, but you're an expert copywriter. You know what you're doing. You're very, very highly trained. Give me some feedback on it, and let's make sure I haven't left anything out or missed anything. Why not? It is a freaking very highly trained tool. It took us 2 years to go from idea to what you're seeing right now. It was no simple task. So let's have a look. Oh, and it actually brings up some pretty good point that I totally blanked out on and forgot about, which is like I should probably provide some sort of proof. That will be in the form of a video demonstration. That would be easy. Let's see, specific pain point resolution, no more second guessing. That's true, actually, because we just are totally demonstrating the fact that it finds out if there's anything you need to fix right here. We could future pacing. We could paint a quick picture of their life after using the tool. That's actually a good idea. Now, I would write that differently. Instead of imagining waking up tomorrow and actually being excited to create content, I might say something like, think about how cool it'll be knowing that you don't have to worry about sales copy anymore. Something like that. And scarcity, urgency, maybe some objection handling in there too. Yeah, dude, and value proposition is smart. So I should actually add all of those, but I was in a hurry because I'm trying to teach and do the stuff at the same time. But that's why we use Ojoy, because it knows what it's freaking doing, because it's been trained on a gazillion hours of my content. My poor developer, oh my God, he had to go through so much of my stuff. Thank you, Alexander, and I apologize. Anyway, man, if you want, just go to ojoy.ai and try this. You can try it free. It's pretty freaking cool. It'll write good stuff for you, as seen here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.